Section 2.7. This section we're talking about the absolute value inequality. In the previous section 2.6, we talk about absolute value equations. But we also have two formulas for absolute value inequality. If the absolute value has less sign, like in this case, absolute value is less than b, then we use this formula. If absolute value has a sign greater, then we are using these two inequality. So that's how to do the conversion from the absolute value to just the regular equations. All right. So here, in this example, the first one, absolute value is less. When absolute value is less, then to get rid of absolute value sign and solve the inequality, what you have inside the absolute value, you got to take that out and set it between what you have on the right side, positive or negative. So here, what you have within the absolute value, you put that between 9 and negative 9. Okay, so you follow exactly this one. If absolute value is less than what you have on this side, then you take this out of the absolute value, whatever the A is, which in this case is x plus 3, and you put it between 0 and negative 3. Now, this type of problem, when you could do the addition and subtraction for both sides at the same time. It's like, I need to, let's say I have this, x plus 3 less than 9. How do you solve x plus 3 less than 9? We have to move 3 to the other side. Therefore, we get to put subtractions, right? But we could do the subtraction of all three of them. So in that case, x by itself is between 6 and negative 12. Now, if you want to do the graphing is a parenthesis. Why is a parenthesis? Because it doesn't have equality sign, like on this one. This one has equality sign. All right, the next example. Absolute value of x plus 4 is greater than 15. Anytime absolute value is greater, then there are two separate inequality or two pieces like union. That's why we are using the word or. So you take the function or whatever you have within the absolute value, you take that out, you set that greater than equal to b or equal or less than minus that, okay? So what we have inside of the absolute value, we take that out and put it greater than 15, and also we take that out and put it less and equal to negative 15. And then the rest is just, now when you solve this type of absolute value inequality, because of the or union, you recall there are two pieces. One is x greater than 11, and why we are using a bracket? Because it also has an equality sign. And x is less than minus 9. So this formula basically, when it's greater, it's kind of designed for union. But when it's less, it's designed for intersections. Okay. Before you solve the inequality, or if you want to move absolute value, first of all, you always want to make sure that absolute value is alone on one side. It shouldn't have any numbers to the next one if you want to use the formula. So we move negative 9 to that side. So now I have absolute value of x minus 8 is less or equal to 7. So what was the formula when you have absolute value of a is less or equal to b? What was the formula for that when it's less than b? Then what you have, you put it between b and minus b. Mean what you have inside of the absolute value, which is x minus 8, you put that between 7 and negative 7. How do I solve x minus 8 equal to less than 7? How do I solve this one? If I need to move negative 8 to the other side, right? So I add positive 8. So when you add positive 8, you add positive 8 to all three of them. So x is between 15 and 1, but since it has an equality sign along with inequality, then you use the bracket. So here would be x is between 15 and 1, which is the sign of intersections. X plus 7 greater than 9. Again, if I want to use the formula, I have to have absolute value alone. So I move 7 to the other side. Now, absolute value of x is greater than 2. What is important is inequality sign. It's greater, right? When it's greater, then there are two pieces. One is you take the absolute value out, either greater than this or less than minus that. Okay? So here, you take absolute value is greater than that or less than equal to minus 2. See, there are two pieces here. And so all the numbers from negative infinity to negative 2 and the union, because there are two pieces, you should always connect it with the union sign. And then all the numbers greater than 2 all the way to positive infinity. Same thing is less. When it's less, what formula do I use? This means what you have inside of absolute is between b and negative b. What we have inside of the absolute value, which is 2x minus 3, you put that between 7 and negative 7, okay? And then you just solve it like that. Again, absolute value has to be alone. So move 7 to the other side is less. For less, we are using this formula and so on. Very similar to that. Just at the end, because there is an equality sign, you have to use a bracket. When it's greater, when the symbol is greater, means you have two inequality. One is just what you have inside the absolute value is greater than that, or is less than minus that. So is either what you have inside the absolute value greater than that, or less than minus that. To get rid of 3, or denominator, multiply both sides by 3. So x is less than minus 12 and x is greater than 6. Remember, since you don't have equality sign, they both take a parenthesis. Again, is this or is a symbol of union, which is two pieces. When it's less, it's always between 8 and minus 8. These are solutions. I put a solution for all these problems for you. All right, so that's the end of this section.